This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You and your fiance, you and Taylor Heisey, were at the Vikings game yesterday, and you had some cool seats in the east end zone facing the west. When I was down there for pregame, it was a noon boom, so I was down there about 9:50, and those pivoting west doors were open, and it was a little chilly in there for a second. Did you feel that that bite in the U.S. Bank Stadium air? Because it settled into that of beautification and just a wonderful, wonderful day outside of the result of the game. And good morning.
Yeah, and good morning. No, it was that fall weather was kind of creeping in, that 10 a.m. arrival. You feel that little nip in the air.
You're get there
excited.
At 10 a.m.?
I think, we got there a little after 10. Wow. I like to see the warm-up. I like to, walk around the stadium, see everything's going on.
Get a selfie with A.J. Brown.
Yeah, the whole deal, you know. But nonetheless, it was exciting for me just to be back. U.S. Bank Stadium, love it in there. And then, Taylor got us some pretty fun seats, so we enjoyed kind of lounging out and watching from the end zone point of view.
There are just some crazy things that I was unfurling before you got here. Like Jalen Hurts threw 3 touchdown passes and only had 4 incompletions in the entire game.
Crazy.
And, something that I tripped on with Bursich an hour and change ago that I just can't stop thinking about. It's kind of like if I told you into the game. All right. So let's say we are a profit for profit, and I have been given a victory vision.
All right.
And I want to share it with those I love, including surrogate family member Parker Fox, because I want him to make money, and I want he and Taylor to just live wherever they want to live on as much land as they want to live. And the profit for profit with this victory vision's going to share something with you only one time in your life. I'm going to tell you into the game. The Minnesota Vikings are going to kill the Philadelphia Eagles on third down. They're going to run for more yardage than the Eagles, including Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
And this victory vision, it just keeps coming to me. It also includes Saquon Barkley having a 25-game streak snapped of at least 50 scrimmage yards.
Wow.
He had 42. That's all coming, profit for profit here. And also, the Vikings would win the time of possession by right around 10 minutes.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you're unloading 401ks, you're borrowing money, you're getting into that Frost money. I mean, if I told you all that.
With a Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
-2 in the take give.
Yeah.
With a return touchdown, which was a pick 6.
Yep.
So punt, kick, fumble recovery, or, block field goal, block punt, all that, or pick 6. -2 and a return touchdown. You are a 3.5% winner in those games over the annals of time. No matter how much you chew the clock, hold down Saquon, crush somebody on third down, and do all that. You know what I mean?
Well, it just confused me because it's just like you're sitting there and you're just, I feel like if we just had one more quarter, we would have won this football game. Or I feel like we have 5 more minutes, we win this football game. But it's just one of those ones where Philly did everything they needed to do. They made the big play down the stretch. Yeah, Jalen Hurts only throws the ball 23 times, completes 19 of those. But the biggest one was to A.J. Brown to finish that game. Man-on-man coverage, Isaiah Rodgers, fake the slant, throw it over the top, and say goodnight to everybody in Minneapolis. So, very unfortunate there. It's extremely unfortunate because I have Saquon Barkley on my fantasy team. So, you expect at least, hey, if we're going to lose, let's at least let Saquon kind of pump the fantasy points there a little bit. That didn't happen. So, a real lose-lose type of Sunday for yours truly.
You're an elite sports mind. So, therefore,
thank you, Bismarck.
Just with Carson Wentz, 9 for 9, the Addison Drive at Tottenham Hotspur. Yesterday, Jalix Hunt, just overall as a backup.
Yeah.
He is the backup. He brought here to back somebody up who can't play. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been a Carson Wentz fan. I had a coach, Saul Phillips, at Northern State for a couple years, who was the head at NDSU. And he watched Carson come in, and Carson was
he
a
went
backup.
to the NCAA tournament, I think, Saul Phillips.
Yeah, they beat Buddy Hield in Oklahoma in a 15-2 game. game.
Okay,
Yeah, so,
there's one NDSU team, might have been Tim Miles, that got beat by Kansas in like the first or second round.
That is a Tim Miles team.
Yeah, man. But Saul, I've had Saul on the radio before. I'm not going to claim to know him that well, but from what I do know, super nice guy.
Oh, the best. And I was talking on the phone with him yesterday about a young Carson Wentz, and he just said he would watch from his office, and Carson would come in and work out every day. And you could just tell there was a zip on the ball that was different than anything else. So, obviously he's done well throughout his career, put himself into good positions to make money, win games, be on winning teams. And I loved what he did to get us a win at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I was the advocate for him, being the starter. I think there's no question on Sunday that he earned that job regardless of how, healthy JJ McCarthy was. Nonetheless, if you take away that pick six, I wish he had that one back. If you take away that one, I get the long one. That's kind of basically a punt in my mind. I know it's only second down, but it's second and 25, something crazy like that. But if you take away that slant interception pick six, I thought he played a decent game if that non-throwing arm, his non-throwing shoulder is really impacting him. But nonetheless, I liked what the Vikings did. There were some really good things that I thought they did really well. I loved the out routes to Addison. I thought those were great. Found Hawkinson a couple times. You think he holds onto that ball at the back of the end zone. So just a couple little things, and that's football, right? It's a game of inches. It's a game of little plays, and unfortunately, we end up on the bad side of that one.
Boy, you fantasy football freakazoids. I'm more of a fantasy basketball guy. I only got one fantasy football team, and I don't really look at it that closely. Keyshawn, I think it's Keyshawn Booty for New England.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow, he looks like a fantasy football machine these days.
Yeah, I mean, he was a waiver guy, too. I looked at last week thinking about picking up.
Off the big game.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like, cool, there was the wedding. I don't want to go to the funeral.
Regression of the mean, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't want to go to the funeral.
I think he tore it up again yesterday.
Did he really?
Well, I mean, it's Mike Vrabel, the former Titans coach.
Yep.
Who was fired. I mean, you know what this is like, man. I mean, when you go somewhere that you used to be, and there's just a little bit of an extra edge there for like Vrabel. And Tennessee was at times a successful coach there. Man, he just went there and dusted that market yesterday. Holy cow. The Patriots rolled on the Tennessee Titans.
Good on the Pats.
You see, this little piece of information, it's kind of bad for business. The Vikings are playing Minneapolis.
Your city is terrible.
The Minnesota, this is bad for business. The Vikings have fewer wins than the Carolina Panthers. That's just bad for business.
That is bad for business.
I mean, the team's last in the division right now. The division probably is the best in the National Football League.
Yes.
And, copyright common, being the lousiest of the best, can help people profit for multiple decades. But nevertheless, you can recover from that. But just if only for this minute to have fewer. Well, I mean, if you're Adam Thielen, don't look at the standings, AT19.
Yeah,
don't look at the standings, okay?
And you come into a difficult one in a short week here on Thursday, having to go to LA.
We'll see. I don't think they're that good. They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. My thing, PA, was what did you think of the D line? I some of the stuff with Hargrave and just was too flustered. Yeah, I give Jalen a lot of credit for that too.
No, there was minimal pressure on Jalen Hurts.
But I feel like that was, in my opinion, the difference maker is we needed to get to the quarterback. I think they popped up some stats midway through the game. I think it was 3.5 seconds to 3 seconds versus Jalen and Carson in the pocket. And I know that's only midway through the third, but that's a half a second of difference that you get in the pocket to make plays. And when you have Smith and Brown downfield on secondary routes, that's just something you need to get home, and you need to find ways to quicken things up there.
There's one player on whom they're counting greatly. He happens to have 2 sacks. Hasn't had a sack in more than a month, but happens to have 2. Nickname is the Grave Digger, and it turns out they're trying to excavate his next sack. So that's bugging me a little bit. Javon Hargrave playing only 18 snaps. Just can't figure it out. Jalen Redmond's fantastic. Levi Drake Rodriguez is doing exactly mostly what he's supposed to do is Levi Drake Rodriguez. Yep. Jonathan Allen caught fire a little bit yesterday. Had the first 2 tackles of the game, finished with like 4. And in defense of 97, he gets double teamed quite a bit.
Yes. But
he only played 18 snaps yesterday, and that ain't sitting well with me. Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24 via X. The Jalen Hurts had a perfect passer rating yesterday of 158.3. And that quite possibly could be the A topic from the game. Going 1 of 6 inside the 20 when you're a top 5 red zone touchdown scoring team, that has some A topic to it. But you know what else has A topic to it? Somebody whose last name begins with Allen, as in Keenan Allen. He has, and if the talkbacks were working today, maybe somebody, or the 64686 with texting or whatever. If you don't, ain't no big deal. I just, in my years calling games for this team, I just can't recall anybody who chews up the Minnesota Vikings consistently like Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
And now Jahmyr Gibbs of late has caught fire. Alvin Kamara had a 6-touchdown game on Christmas Day in like the pandemic year.
But he doesn't get us every game.
Right. Keenan Allen, this will be his 7th game against the Vikings. And it doesn't matter the defensive structure the Vikings have offered for more than a decade. In his 6 versus Minnesota, he averages 10 catches a game, 119 receiving yards a game. He scored twice on us last year with the Bears. In 2023, Flores' first year here, Keenan with the Chargers went for 18 catches, 215 yards. He didn't score a touchdown. He threw one.
Yeah, of course.
To wide receiver Mike Williams. And we need to get by the Chargers like we need to breathe, man. So somebody better put a body on Keenan Allen this Thursday night.
Yeah, and he looked good yesterday, too. 11 for 119 and a touchdown from a quarterback, Justin Herbert, that went for 37 for 55 for 420 yards. And they got killed. He threw 2 picks, which that's what hurts
they
them there.
They should have 4 consecutive losses, but they ran into those Miami L's who are just all about implosion mode. And Miami almost beat them, by the way.
Yeah, terrible. And I think you're right, P. I don't think this Chargers team is as good as we may think they are.
Well, FICA, Fairness and Chargers Act. I mean, the offensive linemen that they're down, Rashawn Slater, Trey Pipkins, who's pretty good, and he didn't play yesterday. He's hurt. They have another high. Oh, Joe Alt.
Joe
He's
hurt.
Hey, he's missed several games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're down 3 beefeaters for the Manhattan Beach Moving Company, who absolutely matters. I can understand.
Well, and that excites you, right? That excites the Vikings.
The rookie you guys loved.
Omarion Hampton.
Out.
Yeah, he's
season.
Out.
Done.
So they are running with Kamani Vidal. I don't know much about Kamani.
Some
but
Hassan something.
Hassan Haskins? Are you kidding
Hassan
me?
Haskins. Naeem Hines. But no, I think if you're the Vikings, you have to look at that, injured offensive line, and you have to kind of assess what happened in the Eagles game. Why were you giving Jalen Hurts so much time? Why were you not able to get home? Yeah, we got to give the Eagles offensive line that credit. They're a good offensive line. But nonetheless, now you have a team that's beat up at that offensive line. You have to find ways to put pressure on Justin Herbert because he's talented back there when he gets time.
You know what they do? They stretch the field.
Yeah, I know.
They figured out this Quentin Johnston thing.
Herbert loves to throw it deep.
Lad McConkey is your mid-range guy. He's going to find the soft spot in the zone. He's going to sit down. He's going to just nickel and dime you for 120 yards. And they got Keenan. They're 4th in the league in passing yards right now.
Wow.
Their passing offense kicks ass. The issue for them is they're not finding their way into the end zone. So
they had a tight end yesterday who blew up, and I've never heard of the guy.
Who's their tight end? Will Dissly?
No. Dill Whistley is a backup.
Okay.
And then they start this Fisk
we know
guy.
Dill Whistley.
this Fisk guy who's a beefeater, very, very
Tucker Fisk.
Scataboo like. They got this Gadsden.
Gadsden the second.
There's some kind of Gadsden thing.
Yeah.
No, he didn't just have, he had a monstrous game yesterday.
South Carolina Gadsden?
Is that who he is?
Oronde Gadsden the second.
Yeah, is he a rookie?
7 for $164.
Look at that, 7-164.
Okay.
How many touchdowns?
He did have 1 touchdown.
I mean, talk about a fantasy football feast. Everybody
Syracuse native stand up.
He's a 5th round rookie.
Bench.
He's a 5th round rookie.
Wow, that's a steal
in a deep
there.
tight end draft.
But Charch went on about that. Like Harold Fannin Jr. was Bowling Green or something like that. He's making memories for the Browns right now. Oronde Gadsden. Watch out.
Are you watching The Wild? I haven't seen much so far.
Yeah, I've been watching them. I've been throwing them on the TV a little bit here and there. It's kind of been disappointing. It's one of the things that I was a little bit worried about going into this Kirill signing is I do think, let me be clear. I think you have to sign Kirill. I think you have to pay him what he's worth. There's no question in that. I think you've asked anybody across the hockey landscape, they agree with me. But I do think that when you do that, it limits kind of some of the depth that you have. It limits going out and getting complementary pieces, and we've seen it kind of so far. 2-3-1 start for the Wild. They haven't looked great. Their power play has looked really good. They started out really well at the power play, scoring, I think, like 8 times early in the season, something like that. Just really solid on the power play. But then they've lost some big ones, and now you got to go to New York tonight at 6:00, and that's going to be another tough one. So they're on a little bit of a skid right now. But I think you got to get home, got to settle things down. We got to find out ways that Kirill can impact the game the way he has to have, impact, because it's $17 million. It's a lot of money in hockey.
Lastly, 30 seconds, you get it all. Finchy joins the show tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Let's go, baby.
Chris Finch, 9 a.m. tomorrow in advance of the season opener this week. What intrigues you about the 2025-2026 Minnesota Timberwolves presentation?
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see kind of just roster rotation, what we do at the point guard position, what we do at our off guard position. I think there's just a lot of question marks when it comes to that. Your exclamation points are Julius Randle. I think he's going to handle the ball a little bit more in that point forward role, something I know you like to see, PA. I think Anthony Edwards is going to get a little bit more ball handling responsibilities, hopefully a little bit more decision making responsibilities. And then your other 2 exclamation points are Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid in the front court. So then your question marks are, obviously Dante DiVincenzo, Terrence Shannon Jr., Jalen Clark, Rob Dillingham, Mike Conley. What kind of that is going to look like in terms of rotation? Because I think Jalen Clark gives you a lot on the defensive side of the ball, as well does Terrence Shannon, but he scores the better offensively. So I think it could kind of be like a 10, even maybe 11. I hate to say 11 because I think that's too much, but man rotation where each game is going to be a little different. Now you're starting out in Portland against a team that you should beat. I just am really excited to see us go out there and play meaningful basketball and see what this Timberwolves team looks like this year.
You are the best. Please tell Taylor that I say hello, and thanks for the inclusion. Talk soon.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy. Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24 via X. Cash thing right now.
The Fan, along with 2 Men in a Junk Truck, want to give you a chance to win some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is grand. You may win a grand with the keyword grand. Enter it now, KFAN.com. News du Nord, a little late in the show, but all the same, it's brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. And you're feeling the felt. You're playing poker, blackjack, and table games all year round. And, of course, as well right now on Thursdays, the NFL Pro Pick'em Challenge. So you can jump in there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursdays at Canterbury. Make your picks for the football weekend. And weekly winners, a little walking around money. That's pretty cool. And at the end of the year, somebody's going to win a grand prize, which includes free fuel for a... Did handle some business in terms of the NFL earlier in the show, but it bears repeating. Well, speaking of the Bears, well, they've won 4 in a row.
4 yards behind him is Monungai. Motion right is Loveland. Give to Monungai. Slanting in for the touchdown. Touchdown Bears. And the first career rushing touchdown for Kyle Monungai.
Oh, that's cool. Well, so they've won 4 in a row. How about those Packers? Come on, Jacoby Brissett. Come on, Cardinals. Do us a solid. They don't.
Jacobs up the middle, powering to the end zone. He crossed that goal line. Touchdown!
All right, so 2 of the 3 other teams in the NFC North found their way to victories yesterday. Oh, good. 3 out of 4, it might be later this evening. With Monday Night Football action, we got 2 games. The first one, the 6-point favored Lions hosting the potential MVP frontrunner right now, Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. That's a 6 p.m. affair, which means, well, the team's already, our favorite team's already 3-3 and 4th in the North. We don't like that. Chance to go to 5-2 are the Kitties. And then the late night affair, in case you're just frustrated with the quarterback situation and just what's going on, and we need the kid QB to be healthy, and well, you're going to get to see Sam Darnold and the Seahawks hosting the Texans as you potentially fall asleep on a Monday night. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff, so it's a double feature of the NFL. But the NFC North, sans our favorite team handling business yesterday, chance to go 3 for 3 with the Kitties tonight, and you'll get to see the Seahawks in the late affair as Monday Night Football provides us 2 thrilling matchups this evening.
If I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, I am very, very impressed with my team yesterday. And here's why. It's a road game, and they had 0 road wins. In fact, when they were on the road, they lost to Cleveland. And we'll just leave that right there. So Arizona has a way of playing everybody right down to the wire, but not winning. And that's what happened yesterday. Now, Jordan Love's yards per attempt was 6. It was like 6.1. That ain't great. Jordan was not, he was having a nondescript game, but not like embarrassingly bad. And when Siny joins, within 10 minutes, I'm excited to talk to him about what he thinks went into the fact that it looked from afar in the fourth quarter late, down 3. Matt LaFleur on a 4th down, very short, was like, I can't put this quarterback in this spot right now. Then he changed his mind and took the backup kicker, who hit from 61, by the way, and got a game ball after the game. Took that guy out of the game and put the offense in, and Jordan Love hit Tucker Kraft on a fantastic play. Chains move, and they eventually get a Jacobs touchdown out of it, and they win the game. So with that, and then the fact that it is absolutely, and I don't watch every Green Bay game, but I had a chance to see a lot yesterday, is with Micah Parsons, you can bring all-pro guy in, but it's not going to hit and or click right out of the gate. It's just impossible no matter who you are, because new plays, new players, new surfaces, trying to get your personal life all moved and settled. Well, the Micah Parsons I saw yesterday, it's hit. It has clicked. He was absolutely stupendous. Middle of the third quarter on. So that was the kind of a win yesterday. If I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, I look at it like the mark of a good team is one that doesn't play that well and still wins.
Yeah.
That was them.
Yeah, they were awful on 3rd down. I think actually I think going for it near midfield, Jacoby Brissett on the 4th and 1, and they give the ball away up 23-20 to the Packers at midfield, which would then entail that game that they had trailed the whole game. That was the only time they led, I think, is when they got that go-ahead touchdown there towards the end. What a disastrous! And
it's interesting you say that, because in every game this year, except for yesterday, Green Bay had led by multiple scores in every single game.
And people had to come keep charging,
They're up 9 points or more in every single game. Well, yesterday they didn't lead until the end of the game.
Yeah.
So that's that of tenacity, belief in each other, and fortitude.
It was impressive by the hated rivals. You want to talk about impressive? How about unicorn-type stuff? Shohei Ohtani on Friday night.
Big righty McGill sets on the mound. Here's the pitch. And Ohtani drives one, left center field. Did you? Gone! Shohei Ohtani, the stuff of legend.
How about 10K and 3 home runs from the freaking pitcher? That is truly greatest stuff in history of game type of fodder that you're getting from Shohei Ohtani, who had kind of had a quiet postseason, and then he just lifted off with a chance to close the door on the Brewers. And they're going to be waiting and watching tonight, PA, because Game 7 of the ALCS, I think this is a rematch. I believe it was Game 3. It was Kirby and Shane Bieber.
Yep.
But this time it's not in Seattle. It's in Toronto. That's going to be at 7:08. Excited to root for Softy's team, but Toronto, they even got the go-ahead. They were up 3-2. The Mariners were, after losing both in Seattle. But now one of 2 in Seattle, excuse me. But the Mariners now on the brink. Game 7 tonight. Softy's team, chance to go and face Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers.
And the Green Bay Packers each and every Monday get to center stage for a segment 9 to noon. It's a 2-decade-old bit called Border Battle, featuring the Sultan of Smug, David Sinykin, and that's next on KFAN.
I can't wait.
Border Battle.
Wait until tomorrow.
Hey, Siny, hey, guess what?
Tomorrow.
What's that?
Sunday night, whatever they call the stadium these days, like Acrisure, with your juicy squad at A-Raj in Pittsburgh at what used to be Heinz Field. You can get a couple of seats behind the bench, the Packers bench, really, really good seats for about $1,500, 7 and change each. Are you going?
That's it? Yeah, count me in, man. I'll scrabble together some money. That's going to be a fun one.
Bro, it's a hot ticket. I mean, it's like just, trying to cover a lot of bases into this conversation. I started to look at like ticket prices for Sunday night. That game's ballyhooed. I mean, you're all the way up top, man, at like $375 a ticket, So this is quite a big one coming up Sunday. We'll chat about that in a little bit, but we welcome in Dave Sinykin, the host of Packer Preview, and also what's the podcast called?
The creatively titled Packer Review, which is findable. Just find Packer Preview on the iHeart app, and you'll find the podcast from yesterday's game. At
TC Head Cheese via the X Machine. It's a weekly bit, so don't add us. I don't get a chance to watch all of your games and or pay close attention to them in the Michael Parsons Project, copyright Wayne Larrabee. But yesterday I did. If I'm a Packers fan, I'm really impressed with that victory because it was there to be lost. The quarterback wasn't anything special, despite the pass rush being dynamite a majority of the game. But what do you think went into, or maybe you've read the quotes, late, you're down 3, LaFleur sends out the field goal unit, pulls them back, puts Love back out there on 4th down, he hits Tucker Kraft, and eventually you go win the game. Why do you think LaFleur changed?
Yeah, and he burned a very precious second time out. If he'd off the field, he looked at the, quote, disdain in his face at the decision and just said, screw it. I'm going to give him a chance and see if he can make a play. And so, you got one timeout left, 2 minutes and change. Your defense has not slowed down Jacoby Brissett. So if you don't make that conversion, you're dead. And it's a tough play. They misread the coverage. They thought it was zone. It turned out to be man. Love has to go to his third read, which turns out to be Tucker Kraft on a 15-yard play rather than a 3 or 4 yard play just to move the chains. And he delivered a perfect pass. So just a big moment for Love. It shows confidence. It shows the coach believes in you. And I do think that pays dividends as he continues his career here.
Parsons has been good since the trade, but I would imagine since you watch every snap and watch things back, he's really taking off now, isn't he? I mean, his level of comfortability yesterday, it just felt like he'd been there 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, you could point to a lot of things. You get more comfortable with the guys around him and the scheme you're playing. The back's feeling better. And Arizona didn't put the extra guys against him like the other teams have. They kind of trusted their tackles to do their thing. They didn't chip him as much, and that obviously was not a great decision. 10 pressures, 5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks later, 1 wiped out by a penalty on a hip drop tackle. Yeah, he was the difference. Packers don't win that game without Micah Parsons. The 3 sacks are great, but each one was in a huge moment. One was on a 3rd and goal, sets up a field goal try, and the last 2 came late in the game on big plays. So he saved his best for the biggest moments, and when you make a trade like that, that's what you hope you see. So it gives us hope for what we're going to see as the season moves along.
Lastly, your best 30 seconds on Sunday night. It's Green Bay at Pittsburgh against A-Raj. I mean, can you contain yourself this week?
I cannot. When the schedule came out, this was the game. And now, in circumstances, Pittsburgh coming off extra rest after kind of an embarrassing loss of defensive performance in Cincinnati, you're going to get Pittsburgh's best effort to win one for A-Rod. So after beating middling competition the last couple of weeks, we'll know a lot more about Green Bay on the road in a tough spot against A-Rod. I cannot wait. I can't believe I have to wait 6 days. It's going to be epic.
Thank you, brother. Call you next week.
Have a good week, bud.
David Sinykin at TC Head Cheese with the Border Battle. Thank you for listening to 9 to Noon. The program's around the corner. But first, here comes Nordo with that wrap on the show.
Now, what did I do wrong?
The game is over.
Yesterday, heard a lot of hex and darns. QB couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and the center's looking cold and all alone against Jalen Carter in the high snap in the red zone. Dial tone, gotta make a call. Anyone see a spare turnover laying around at all? The defense, they aren't taking the ball away. Meanwhile, there's Jalix Hunt running the other way. But with all that, man, they're 3-3, and yes, technically, much worse it could be. But from A.J. Brown running wild and free to wondering if we can actually rush the QB. But it's only Monday and it wasn't no fun, but we still woke up and we still saw the sun. We'll be back tomorrow positive with the pom-pom. Shout out to Jim and Mike from BigDeck.com.
Loserville sounds better in FM.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.